Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Spiritualist Desert Church Sunday morning service. If you are joining us via Zoom, your microphones will be muted throughout as we're recording this for posting later on our YouTube channel. And if you're viewing us on YouTube and you'd like a Zoom invitation, we'll have our email address up later and you can send an email request for that. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. We want to welcome all of those here physically on Zoom, later on YouTube, and of course, especially all of those who have joined our fellowship this morning from the spirit world. My name is Jen Rawson, and I'll be your chairperson today. I'm a trustee on the board of Spiritualist Desert Church, a co-chair of the pastoral committee, and an NSAC ordained minister. Joining us today will be the Reverend Doctor Rosemary Calderalo, delivering our sermon and spirit greetings. Louise Barkdahl will be leading us in a healing meditation, and Alice Robertson and Louise Barkdahl are our Zoom moderators for this morning's service. And if you would please join me, and we will open our service with a prayer, and I will lead us in our invocation. Infinite intelligence, we ask that our hearts and minds be opened to the higher spiritual realms where we can feel the love, peace, and harmony of those realms. As we look forward to new experiences, friendship, and the love of family during this new year, we ask that we remain ever mindful that the new knowledge, wisdom, and understanding we receive will enable us to more fully express and share spiritualism as a way of life. Amen. Spiritualist Desert Church is a chartered member of the National Spiritualist Association of Churches, which is headquartered in Lilydale, New York. Our NSAC Spiritualist Manual provides us with the definitions of our religion, and I would like to share these definitions of spiritualism and of being a spiritualist with you now. Spiritualism is the science, philosophy, and religion of continuous life based upon the demonstrated fact of communication by means of mediumship with those who live in the spirit world. Spiritualism is a science because it investigates, analyzes, and classifies facts and manifestations demonstrated from the spirit side of life. Spiritualism is a philosophy because it studies the laws of nature, both on the seen and unseen sides of life, and bases its conclusions upon present observed facts. It accepts statements of observed facts of past ages and conclusions drawn therefrom, when sustained by reason and by results of observed facts of the present day. Spiritualism is a religion because it strives to understand and to comply with the physical, mental, and spiritual laws of nature, which are the laws of God. A spiritualist is one who believes, as the basis of his or her religion, in the communication between this and the spirit world by means of mediumship, and who endeavors to mold his or her character and conduct in accordance with the highest teaching derived from such communication. As spiritualists, we don't have any dogmas or creeds, but we do have 9 principles that we strive to live by. Please join me now in declaring these principles. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Excellent. It is my great pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, the Reverend Doctor Rosemary Calderalo from Maryland. Rosemary is an ordained minister, a certified medium, a commissioned healer, and a national spiritualist teacher through the NSAC. She is the director of the NSAC Department of Endowments as well. And I hope that you will now all join me in welcoming Rosemary to Spiritualist Desert Church.
Thanks so much. I first want to just say thank you, not only for that introduction, but it's just such a pleasure to be here with all of you, right? It's just such a great group of folks gathered, and I'm just so happy to be here with all of you. And I want to say a big congratulations to the Reverend Jen Rosen for her recent ordination. Jen, I know you work so hard, and I'm so happy for you that you're bringing your gifts to this new level. So congratulations. And we were just talking before the service started about how, Zoom is this kind of flat environment, right? But it gives you an exercise in trust. So I too am used to feeling that energy of the audience, and it gives you this opportunity to just kind of let go in a different way. So what a year, right? What a year that it's been for us. And I'm so honored to be here with all of you on the first Sunday of the new year. I'm sure there were moments in 2020 where we thought we couldn't imagine getting past certain things, right? And certainly many challenges continue, but I hope that you're also feeling the accomplishments of staying focused, of staying centered, and when you could not stay centered, to persevere, right? And how joyful the feeling when you did persevere to land on the other side of whatever had happened. And Zoom allows us to be physically separate, but here we are together in one energy room of intention. Intention is the fuel for how we decide to live our physical lives. Intention is, I think, a much easier way to digest what the media often focuses on as resolutions for the new year, right? The intentions by which we guide our lives, I believe, have much more power than simply a resolution that feels big and maybe we can't do it all, so we give it up. But an intention of living a certain way can guide us in a more loving fashion, I believe. Our intentions anchor us in what ends up manifesting for us. And certainly things happen that we could never have imagined, but it's our intentions that then help us walk through them in spite of them, in partnership with what has happened. How is it that you want to live this new year? Right? So many things still dog our world, so many losses, and yet the triumph of the human spirit is there, isn't it? The triumph of figuring it out, working to figure out how to get past, how to make friends with, how to honor, to learn from what the universe puts in front of us. Can you feel in your quiet moments the joy of the spirit world, your spirit partners, as they stand with you to bolster you, to help you remember that you are not alone? I hope you do. I hope you do in every moment. And when it seems that they are not there, I hope you will remember to take a deep breath. And in the exhale, let yourself feel it again. There are so many wonders that await us, and the possibilities that we must remember to look for, right? How many times have we felt we were working so hard and then the answer was right in front of us all along? Sometimes it's about relaxing into something instead of working so hard. That word surrender we hear so often, and if you're like me, when you were at a certain point in your spiritual path, you may have had to grapple with the fact that surrender is not about failure. Surrender is recognizing natural law that exists and remembering it's a partnership. That you're going in that flow of the energy of all that there is instead of fighting against it. I'm sure we can all think of a time when we felt conflict. And how did that make your body feel when something was happening that you didn't want to have happen? Right? Perhaps you had a back and forth with someone. You could feel it in your body, couldn't you? And then if instead we said, let me think about that, and took a breath, you might have felt yourself shift. Let's remember that we have the power to intend a shift. We can change how we react when things happen. What power in that, my friends? The power that you have in your own spirit journey, spirit here manifest on earth, to change the path that you wish to follow, to change how in any moment, instead about being about conflict, you could be about love and understanding. And those moments can be very difficult in that choice where we waver back and forth. But in remembering that we're not alone, we can draw energy from everything around us. How wonderful to know that we are never alone. As spiritualists, we know that when we gather, when we say the principles, right? And how easy to forget in the busyness of our lives. And the journey that beckons us is remembering it more and more, making decisions out of that framework. To make a different kind of decision next time. To let ourselves feel in ever increasing ways, deeper and deeper, the love that exists for us in the universe. How amazing our journey can be and is when we let ourselves feel it. And so what stops us? Only you can answer that, right? In your heart. Only we each know what it is that makes us sad or makes us doubt or makes us question something that we gather about as universal truth. But it is in the trying, the not giving up, the coming back to look at something a different way that advances us. What is it that you do to make yourself be at peace? And do you do it enough? I challenge you to think, again, in terms of intentions, not New Year's resolutions, which can feel so burdensome, right? But the intention of, yes, I want to pause more often, perhaps, before I answer. I'm going to remember to breathe more deeply, to ground myself. What are all the small ways that we can, in our daily lives, remember the power of spiritualism? Because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You can get power and courage from the smallest things, the more and more you use the principles as your framework. Spirit does not ask perfection of us. It only asks that we move towards the perfection of love. Those hardest on ourselves, the hardest person is ourselves, right? We're our harshest critic, our loudest voice in our head very often. So give yourself some space in this coming year. Give yourself space to breathe more deeply, to recognize that the challenges may always be there, but they will evolve. Let yourself take another step into that journey of understanding what it means to say, I am a spiritualist. It means seeing the world in a different way. Sometimes it means that you see the world completely differently than anyone else that may be in a room with you. I'm sure we can all think perhaps of times at work or community groups where we recognized we were looking at things differently because of spiritualism. That is a gift you've given yourself. How wonderful that we have all come to understand that spiritualism offers us something that no other thing does here on earth. A chance to understand that we are in one world, one universe in many dimensions. And all we have to do is to be open to looking, to be open to changing and to growing. And I'm sure that one of you in your head is saying, oh, that's all, right? And I'm not asking for it in that instantaneous way, but again, the way of intention. Tomorrow, the next moment, we are all in this together. That's what's gotten us through this year. Gathering in new ways as we are here on Zoom. Watching after friends and loved ones in new ways. Learning skills that perhaps we never thought that we would need or could develop. So even recognizing the great pain, the loss, separations, has it also, my friends, not been a year of great adventure, where we've learned a lot about ourselves, where we've learned a lot about others, and where in our larger community, we've had opportunities to come together differently. Huge shifts, but huge possibilities. I hope you feel that sense of possibility as we come out of our holiday season and into trying to figure out what it is that the new year brings us. What it is that we want to be about this go-round. And we know from our spirit friends that there is no time for spirit, so they will work with us as long as it takes here in this physical world. But it means, truly, we have all the time we need, right? Because we know as spiritualists that life continues, that purpose continues, that learning continues. And yes, we want it all here in this physical world. But nothing is wasted. All will follow us. And so every moment is important. So I hope that you will look at 2021 as a year that beckons with spiritual adventures, new opportunities to stand in the truth of spiritualism. And as you do in your life, draw others to learn and grow also. Because as spiritualists, don't we know that our energy affects everything around us? So we are not standing here in isolation, only working on ourselves. Our work affects everything. So I hope when you are thinking about how you intend the next moment, the next week, month, year, take it in small pieces, but intend to live a life full of richness, saying yes to the spiritual exploration that spirit is always beckoning us into. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary. That certainly sets some goalposts for all of us in this new year. Thank you very much. This is now the time in our service for our love offering and announcements. If you would please join me in our offertory prayer. Infinite intelligence, we accept these gifts of love that will help us in continuing to deliver the messages of spiritualism. We ask your blessings upon these gifts and these cheerful givers who seek to assist us in keeping this church as a lighthouse for the seeker of truth. Amen. We continue to accept love donations by cash or check to the address that's going to be coming up on your screen. In addition, we also have a PayPal available through our website or through the link that is on the screen. It's also in the chat box if you want to look there. And we want to thank you very, very much for your continued support of Spiritualist Desert Church. Our church remains active while it may be physically closed. Our board of directors and the pastoral committee are available if you have any need of assistance, if you need somebody to talk to, if you have questions, or if you're interested in membership. Please reach out to us via any of those methods listed on the screen. The weekly newsletter also has contact information on the last page. If you would like to be added to our email list, please let us know. And recordings of all of our Zoom services are available on our YouTube channel if you search Spiritualist Desert Church on YouTube. Next week's speaker will be the Reverend Sharon Watson from Florida. And after service next week, we will also have a board meeting starting usually right around 1 o'clock after service and our fellowship is done with. As we begin the healing portion of our service, we invite you to join us in a meditation led by Louise Barkdahl. Louise is the secretary on our board of directors and a co-chair of our pastoral committee. And we will now join in the prayer for spiritualist healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Amen. And now Louise will lead our guided meditation.
Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome all those that have had the opportunity to join us here in the physical today, as well as all those in spirit, our family, our friends, our loved ones who come in and spend time with us, support us, and love us. For the next few minutes, there's nowhere else to be. There's nothing else that need to be done. We're going to take an opportunity to connect with that loving, healing energy available to all of us. We're going to recharge ourselves, renew ourselves, and prepare ourselves. So let's start with a couple of cleansing breaths, breathing in deeply, holding for a count of 2 or 3, and then gently releasing that breath as well, exhaling. Just focus on your breathing. And every time you exhale, consciously loosen up some of the muscles in your body, beginning with your shoulders. Allow them to gently relax. And then think about your arms and allowing those muscles to gently relax. Continuing to focus on your breath. Move down your torso and just consciously think of all of your muscles relaxing. Down over your hips, down your thighs, relax those muscles. Down your calves, down to your feet. This allows us to separate a bit from the challenges of the day. It helps to slough off any negativity and prepares us for our vibrations to raise, for us to connect with spirit and connect with that healing energy. So now, ever so gently, if you were to look out and see an ocean, you would see the horizon and no end to the ocean. That is like that healing energy. There is a limitless amount of that healing energy that works with us physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So looking out over that ocean, look at the swells, the way that they move. They can appear to be hypnotizing, calming, relaxing. Almost as if you're in a cradle, being rocked gently, peacefully. And as you feel that gentle rocking, you can feel that vibration. You can feel that calm seeping into your body, seeping into your consciousness, relaxing you even further. Further relaxing your muscles, but also your mind and your heart and your soul. Bringing you to a beautiful calmness. And you can feel that connection with spirit. You can feel that love coming in, healing your body, healing your mind, healing your heart. The next time you breathe in a little bit deeper. Feel the freshness now of being renewed, of that healing that has taken place. And knowing that you can tap into this at any time. Spirit is always with us, always supporting us. All we have to do is reach out and let it in. And now it's time to begin our return. And again, gently start focusing on your breath. Breathing in a little more deeply. Bringing our awareness back to this physical world. Feeling our muscles starting to come back to life. Wiggling our fingers. Wiggling our toes. Gently opening our eyes. Bringing ourselves fully back ready for this day and this new year. God bless.
Thank you, Louise. We continue to maintain our healing list and send out absent, distant healing prayers on a daily basis. If you would wish to add someone to our healing list, please send us an email request with first name only, please. We now move into the message portion of our service. By definition, a medium is one whose organism is sensitive to vibrations from the spirit world, and through whose instrumentality, intelligences in that world are able to convey messages and produce the phenomena of spiritualism. A medium proves the continuity of life. All mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. A psychic reads your energy or your aura. A medium brings through someone who has lived here on this earth plane. It's also important to know that a medium is not a medical doctor and therefore cannot and will not diagnose or prescribe. As our service comes to a close, we would like to invite everybody to join us afterward for our virtual fellowship, which gives us the opportunity to open up everybody's microphones and say hello and Happy New Year and all that fun stuff. And if we could invite the Reverend Doctor Rosemary Calderalo back to give our benediction and close our service.
Thank you. Thanks, Jen. So take a deep breath with me. Just let yourself, as you exhale, feel all of the incredible energy surrounding us. Infinite Spirit, as we prepare to close this sacred time together in this physical space, but never close our connection with you and with each other, we ask that you give us a blessing so that we feel so strongly that our human minds cannot miss it, the love, the support, the guidance for this coming year. Let us feel the joy and the promise and support for our intentions to live in the fullness that has been offered to us. Amen.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Please remember that to include all of those frontline workers and essential workers who are striving to keep us safe and healthy, remember them in your prayers and meditations, please. It's an ongoing crisis that we're all trying to live through. And I hope everybody has a good week. Bye now.